Welcome to the News on the Hour on Providence Television International. I am Ugbebo Ikekwa. A UK-based legal practitioner and philanthropist, Professor Gaskin Omonuwa Ibineweka, has admonished Nigerians to desist from castigating and embarrassing His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on account of his involvement in some legal matters in the United States. In a press release issued in Benin City, Professor Ibineweka, who is also the president of the Nigerian Welfare Club in the United Kingdom, advised that people should stop deriding the president, stressing that by law, even if the president committed any crime in the U.S. when he was there, such conviction had been vitiated and his slate wiped clean. The elder statesman emphasized that President Tinubu is the nation's #1 citizen and president of the most popular black nation on earth, and therefore called on all Nigerians to accord him the respect he deserves. Professor Ibineweka said that as a patriot, he would back anybody who becomes the president in future, regardless of their political leaning or ethnic affiliation. The World Bank has faulted the Nigerian government's conditional cash transfer program, stating that the initiative failed to reach millions of Nigerians in need of urgent economic relief, as only 37% of the targeted households had so far benefited from the scheme. It stated that the scheme, launched in 2023 after the abrupt removal of fuel subsidy and the unification of the foreign exchange market by Tinubu's administration, only reached 5.6 million households out of the planned 15 million 2 years after the launch. The World Bank had approved a loan of $800 million for the program. The global lender disclosed this in its latest Nigeria Development Update report titled Building Momentum for Inclusive Growth, released in Abuja. The Central Bank of Nigeria, in collaboration with the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System, has launched the Non-Resident Bank Verification Number Platform, an initiative aimed at enhancing financial access for Nigerians in diaspora. The platform, which enables Nigerians abroad to obtain their bank verification number remotely, removes the need for physical presence in Nigeria. Speaking at the event in Abuja on Tuesday, CBN Governor Mr. Olayemi Cardoso described the platform as a key milestone in the country's financial inclusion journey. He emphasized that the NRBVN will ease the long-standing challenges faced by Nigerians in diaspora who had to be physically present in Nigeria for BVN registration. He further stated that the NRBVN was not just a solution for financial access, but a step towards a more inclusive, innovative, and prosperous financial ecosystem. Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo has declared that his administration will not yield to intimidation or threats in its determination to eliminate cultism in the state. Addressing youths who staged a peaceful rally at the government house on Tuesday, the governor reaffirmed his administration's commitment to protecting the lives of Edo residents from the menace of cult violence. He emphasized that he would not have become governor of Edo State if his life had not been protected as a youth, and cultism must stop in Edo State as the fight against cultism is total. He further stated that insecurity threatens investments and economic development in the state, and one means to attract investors is to totally eradicate cultism in the state. In a related development, the Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, HURIWA, has commended the governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo, for his bold stance in combating cultism and cult-related violence in the state. The group described the governor's approach as exemplary and urged other state governors to adopt similar measures, warning that cult-related killings remain a significant national security challenge. In a statement released in Abuja on Tuesday, HURIWA disclosed that the level of political will demonstrated by Governor Okpebholo is a clear indication that he is not compromised by affiliations to cult organizations. The association emphasized that a significant number of Nigeria's political class, especially those at the state and federal levels, are deeply entrenched in cult-related affiliations. Applauding the governor's actions, the ongoing legislative support from the Edo State House of Assembly to combat cultism, HURIWA urged the enactment of new laws making capital punishment mandatory for any cultist convicted of murder or ritual killing. The risk of famine in Gaza is increasing with the deliberate withholding of humanitarian aid, including food, in the ongoing blockade. The entire 2.1 million population of Gaza is facing prolonged food shortages, with nearly 500,000 people in a catastrophic situation of hunger, acute malnutrition, starvation, illness, and death. Since the aid blockade began on 2nd March 2025, 57 children have died from effects of malnutrition. Children in Gaza are trapped in a dangerous cycle where malnutrition and disease fuel each other, turning everyday illness into a potential death sentence. The Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, a global initiative by UN agencies, aid groups, and governments, on Monday disclosed that 500,000 people are facing starvation in Gaza. There has been international condemnation of Israel's blockade, with aid agencies calling it a war crime which amounts to a policy of starvation. More than 100 people have been killed and 50 others missing, with at least 28 injured following heavy flooding in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Torrential rains caused the Kasaba River to overflow and wash away several villages surrounding the Lake Tanganyika. Majority of the victims were children and the elderly. In addition to several infrastructure being destroyed, the floodwaters rushed into the city, leaving over 2,000 households without shelter. Flying Eagles coach Aliyu Zubairu has expressed optimism that the team will no longer be affected by the anxiety of sealing a FIFA Under-20 World Cup ticket as they gone for their 8th AFCON title in Egypt. On Monday, Nigeria sealed their ticket to the Under-20 World Cup, which will be held in Chile later this year after eliminating defending champions Senegal 3-1 on penalties in the quarterfinals. As a result of the win, the Flying Eagles have now set up a semi-final date with South Africa on Thursday, and coach Zubairu is confident that they will get an 8th continental title. Nigeria's 7 Under-20 AFCON titles were won in 1983, 1985, 1987, 1989, 2005, 2011, and 2015. They were runners-up twice in 1999 and 2007, and were bronze medalists on 2 other occasions in 2009 and 2013. Nottingham Forest striker Taiwo Awoniyi has been placed in an induced coma to help his recovery from urgent abdominal surgery. The Nigeria international was rushed to hospital for the operation on Monday, having suffered a serious injury during Sunday's 2-2 draw with Leicester City in the Premier League. The induced coma will help regulate his heart rate and restrict his movement. Awoniyi collided with the post while trying to score in the closing minutes against Leicester City. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Football Federation has sent a get well soon message as he begins a period of recovery and rehabilitation. And now to the exchange rates. $1 presently stands at 1,606 naira. €1 its equivalent in naira 1,804. The equivalent of a British pound to the naira is 2,142, and $1 Canadian presently stands at 1,152 naira, with the Australian dollar now at 1,040 naira. And that's the news on the hour on Providence Television International. Thanks for watching. Please stay tuned.